white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. So what's the damage? If you got bones with what I said, I didn't plan this. But I'll keep going till I'm dead, I don't need company. No, I'll ride alone instead, you might want something. 'Cause you're cleaning up my mess. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I don't wanna see that white flag waving, this is to the bitter end. 'Cause this is what I live for, I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. I take another swing so I never miss, no, no, this is what I live for. It's time to kiss the ring, oh, I'm trying to get cold. 'Cause this is what I live for, this is what I live for. I never quit, no, no, this is what I live for. 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 This is what I
Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to present to you an amazing, amazing woman. She's a mom, she is an entrepreneur, she's a speaker, but she is, one of those women behind the scenes who make the actors and actresses look amazing. She is a stunt woman. Please help me welcome Shauna Galligan. Shauna,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, you are first of all, you're a very powerful woman. And, in the work that you do and everything. But before we get there, I want to know about little Shauna. I want to know, what were your hopes? What were your dreams? What, when you were little, what you were thinking you will be doing in your life and what you imagine it's going to look like?
Oh man, little Shauna was very confused, but little Shauna was also very athletic. So everything that I got in trouble for as a kid, I happened to just get paid for it now. So it all worked out. I wanted to be a professional soccer player, but I had a lot of brain injuries and I had my final one in my early 20s, which demolished that dream of being a professional soccer player. And then I just ended up in stunts. So that's a whole nother story in itself. So it was a journey, but it just happened to be in alignment with everything of who I was and what I knew and what I happened to be really good at. And I didn't even know a stunt woman was a thing. I thought actors did it all, which a lot of people still believe that actors and actresses do their own stunts. I'm like, no, that was actually me. So it's kind of fun to say that as well.
Well, inside of a network marketing profession, and I know you kind of have an understanding of what this profession is all about. A lot of people, first of all, they come into this business with the employee mentality when it's actually entrepreneurial venture. So people do not necessarily realize that, you are your own boss here, and you need to develop the skills necessary. You need to develop the mindset necessary. They're going to be nobody kind of like standing with a whip and telling you what to do and how to build your business, because at the end of the day, it is your business, right? But one of the common themes that a lot of people, and they may not necessarily phrase it this way. They may just say, I was like, oh, I don't know anybody. I don't know anything. And the reality behind those words is I'm afraid. I'm afraid to talk to people. I'm scared. I don't know what to say. I don't know what they will think of me. How do I look? So you are obviously in the profession that deals with so much craziness and fear and overcoming that fear. So talk to me about that. How do you deal with those emotions?
Well, what it comes down to is mindset. And one of my favorite quotes from The Incredibles 1, Edna Mode said, "Luck favors the prepared." Well, so if you're in a stunt and something happens to go wrong in the middle of a stunt, if you've trained for this, or you've mentally prepared and your mindset is in the moment, then you know how to protect yourself, and you have to make that last minute decision to protect yourself. But what it comes down to is visualization. Above anything else, you have to believe in magic, because things just magically happen and there's no answers for it, but you actually ask for things and they magically appear. And it seems with network marketing. I'm a part of a company, and I had those same things. I thought I had those fears, and I'm like, wait a second, you're a stunt woman. Like, you don't have fear. Like, we got to go back to the drawing board and figure out where this fear is coming from. Why is it coming from a pain point? Let's heal that. Jim Rohn always said, in order to grow your business, you have to grow yourself. And so a lot of it is inward. Okay, why am I feeling this? What is there something I have to go back to and heal before I can actually go do this? Now, on a physical level, I have to heal my body before I can go get hit by a car. Otherwise, I'm going to be so broken, I won't be able to work for a year. But a lot of it is, what it comes down to is the mindset, believing in magic, and visualizing everything going the way you want it to go. And then you open the doors for unlimited possibilities, because that energy is there. So
I just want to make sure, are you guys paying attention? She just said that when you need to prepare when you're going to get hit by the car. So this woman, she jumps into the fire. She goes knowing that she's going to get hit by the car. She's jumping off the buildings and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, knowing that that's going to happen. So imagine the fear and anxiety that's going on into your brain, and you can actually get injured. You can die, right? It's not just injured, you can die. So this is that, I think that people get so confused with the fear, because yes, there is a fear, that animal emotion that we all have from self-perseverance or self-protection part of things, and it comes from the tribe times, right? When we were hunting for animals, that was our food, and we were working and kind of like hiding in the shelter in the mountains and caves and all that stuff. That's when you needed to really fear of not being eaten and not die out of, because you have nothing to eat, because you didn't hunt successfully that day. That's the animal fear that helps you and protects you, right? But now I think that we took it to the whole different level. So that fear, is that the fear that you are dealing with your work, right? On every single day basis. Inside of network marketing, you're not going to get hit by the car if you present your opportunity. You don't have to jump off the building in order to show products and services to your customers. You do not need to jump into the fire to make a presentation. So I want you guys to hear that. There are two different kinds of fears. One fear is real fear for your physical well-being that protects you. That triggers all those different emotions. So it helps you to realize, okay, am I in actual physical danger? And I'm in actual physical threat from whatever is happening outside of me. But the fear that we all have to pick up the phone and make that call to your prospect has nothing to do with the reality. It's just all right here. It's not real. It's just, those are just stories that we tell to ourselves to kind of like come up with an excuse why we shouldn't be doing certain things or why we could be doing. So you said that it's all right, it's all in your head, but how do you was it always like this for you, that you says like, okay, yeah, I when director or whatever, whoever says like, oh, you need to jump off the building, and you said, yeah, okay, let me jump off the building. When was that first time? What were you thinking? What was going through your emotions?
Extreme fear. And it's not the fear of the actual stunt. It's, you're going to get hurt. You just don't know how badly you're going to get hurt. And then of course, so many things could go wrong. But so I can go down so many rabbit holes right now, but one of the things that has protected me from getting hurt is visualizing the stunt going smoothly. If I had to do a stair fall, I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was like 10 years ago. I had to do a stair fall down a basement stairs in lingerie. And one side, so I had like, I couldn't wear any pads. I'm barefoot. I'm in literally underwear. And I'm standing at the top of the stairs, and I literally just have to run and throw myself down the stairs as ugly and as brutal as possible. And I'm standing on the top of the stairs. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. But before, when I got called for that job, I'm like, cool, that sounds fun. But that was my ego saying, yeah, you're going to be falling down some stairs. That's going to be so cool. But then when you're actually in the moment, you have to beat fear with fear. It kind of is a mind game. And that's when the magic kind of plays. You have to believe it to be true. You have to say, okay, those stairs are soft, and you have to believe that to actually be true. So when the director, so I worked on a movie 3 years ago now called Line of Duty. And the day before, we had this stunt, the director and the stunt coordinator came up to me and said, you're going to drop down an 80-foot elevator shaft. And I was like, I'm going to do what? Like, I didn't get any mental preparedness whatsoever, because it's a mind game. So when they told me that, of course, I didn't want to think about it, because I knew I'm terrified of heights. And I will be the first to say that. I'm not going to pretend that I am a stuntwoman that can do it all. I have some fears, like heights. I don't know how to accomplish it except for just doing it. So I was standing at the top of the 80-foot elevator shaft, and I was trying to play it cool on the outside, like pretending that it was all good. And inside I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I'm going to die. So I'm attached to a wire, and I just free fall 80 feet. And then this wire slows me down right before I hit 4 feet of water, which could be the death of Shauna. So of course, this is when they say the only fear of dying is not knowing how you're going to die. Well, I knew how I was going to die that day, but I had no choice but to take the fear and say, you know what, watch this, and still hold that fear inside of me. But then I take fear, and I take this fear, and I just go boom, and then it goes away, and then you accomplish it. And the best feeling ever is to say, I did it. And just doing it, literally just jumping into it and not having any expectations, but knowing the outcome is going to be exactly what you needed, and trusting the process. So that was my answer.
I think you said something here very, very special, because I think the fear of unknown, that's the worst part, right? Because
yes,
when you know exactly what's going to happen, how things are going to happen, because I remember, because it's funny you said that you're afraid of heights. I'm actually afraid of flying. And I'm one of those people that flies so much that it's just ridiculous, right? Because at some point I decided, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm afraid of flying. And it's funny, because that fear, it was a long time ago, then it disappeared. Then there were a couple things that triggered that all emotion that I forgot a long time ago. And And then now it's kind of like it came into fruition, into my reality in such a big way that every time like the plane takes off, I'm just sitting like this, I'm holding my husband's hand, and he knows that like I'm not a happy flyer. And I have an airplane, okay? So it's another crazy story. But every time, so one time I remember like today, we were in Europe, we were flying in a small private jet, going to one of the events. And first of all, the way I overcome my fear of flying is, in my head, I'm realizing I can only do so much. I can only impact so many people if I'm just sitting in one place, right? But if I go to Germany, if I go to Australia, if I go to Dubai, if I go to whatever, and through the work that we do, I can impact way more people. So I can build that connection. I can build that rapport. And because of that, my mission and my passion is bigger than my fear. So every time I'm afraid of something, I'm remembering is that fear gonna stop me from living the life of my dreams? But it's also, if it's going to stop me from living the life on purpose and with my mission in mind. So I do that, pep talk to myself every time I'm getting on an airplane. And I remember that one time, I don't know what happened. And most likely it was happening in my head than in the physical reality. But we flying, and I felt like something hit the plane. So I'm assuming we just got like into that little air bubble or something. And the plane just did this. And we were actually coming on a descent, and I did not quite realize that. So the plane, exactly after that bump, started going sharp down. And it was probably a little bit sharper than it normally would go. But I don't know what was the reason behind it. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and in the private plane, there is no door between you and the pilot. So you can see exactly what's happening in the pilot's cabin. And the pilot was just kind of like, I'm seeing all the monitors, and all of a sudden, like all the metrics, all those errors kind of like doing this. And like there is some beeping sound. I was like, oh, that's not good. That is not good. So I truly believed in my head that we're falling down. And I experienced a true panic attack. I was not even pretending to be cool. I think I was weeping, and like I'm holding my husband's hand. I was like, babe, we're going to die. And he's like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm having a little glass of wine. So I'm drinking that wine, hoping that it's going to help, and it's not. And in that whatever amount of minutes that we were going into the descent, and we landed safely, all good, like no real sign of that we were actually crashing, right? It mostly was in my head. But I experienced in that moment the biggest fear in my life. But worse than anything, I was like, okay, I already understood that I'm dying. I was already prepared. I just make it faster. I just cannot wait for it anymore. I mean, like waiting for my own death was scarier than knowing that I'm going to die. So that's why I realized that the fear of unknown is actually what is so petrifying to all of us. Same way as the fear of change. Right now we are in such a situation as a world, as the humanity, excuse me, going through so many changes where people do not know what their future holds. When people do not know how they're going to pay their bills tomorrow, when people do not know how they can be mentally safe and protect themselves and their families when there is so much stuff going on, the pressure from the financial perspective, from their health perspective, from all kind of like the future is so unknown. And I think that's the hardest part, because not knowing what is going to happen is probably the biggest fear, at least I experienced.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And big stunts, not knowing how it's going to turn out is the most scary, because it's going to hurt, but what if it ends up in a way that changes your life forever? So I think one of the biggest things is completely letting go every time, because what's going to talk us into these rabbit holes is ourself and our self-talk and our chatter that goes off in our mind, that sometimes we just go along for the chatter, but we have the power to stop the chatter and say, I am not going to listen to you, chatterbox. Like, you're going to kill me. Instead, I'm going to think these thoughts. And we have the control of all of that. Now, the bright side to the unknown is we control our own future by the power of the mind, by thinking of what we want and constantly putting out what we want is going to come back to us eventually, because like attracts like. You're always going to be in alignment with what you're putting out. So what are you going to put out? Am I going to put out fear, not knowing what's going to happen? Or am I going to take everything inside of me and control all of that talk, control all of the fear, still feel those feelings because they're real, but saying it's okay to feel this, but this is what I demand. This is what's going to go through my head. I'm not going to let my brain talk my mind out of what I know I'm capable of. So, in my head, I always visualize the brain and the mind, two different things. Like the brain is the physical aspect of our humanness, but our mind is our energy body of what really can manifest what we want. So
I love it. Well, guys, put put in the comments below, like, what is your biggest fear and how are you overcoming it? Don't leave it like, oh my gosh, I'm scared of whatever. Put in the comments, what are you doing to face that fear, to overcome that fear? Because, you know, I heard that saying that everything you want in your life is on the other side of fear. You know, so just staying on that side, imagine that bridge. Imagine, you know, it's like you going through those big mountains and there is nothing underneath of you, and there is just that one tiny little bridge, and on that other side there is the promised land, that there is the life of your dreams, and all that it stands in front of you is just that bridge. And here's the thing, the scariest part is that first step. Scariest part is to convince yourself to take that first step, to take that first action, to pick up that phone, to make that first phone call, to make that first interaction. But once you make a first step and the second step, and maybe you can start jumping and shaking that bridge a little bit and see it's actually safe. And if you do it few more times, I mean, it's like you're going to be running through that bridge really fast and really soon, because that fear is not there anymore, because you know what's on the other side. And that's in most cases your dream life. So put in the comments below, what is your fear and what are you doing to overcome it? What are the steps that you're taking to either get rid of that, or at least, like Shauna said, take it under control so it does not stop you from living your purposeful life. So let's switch gears a little and talk about network marketing. So you join a company, and we kind of, this is the place where we don't mention any company names or any products or anything, but tell me when you started building the business, because yes, we mentioned that you even said that you had some fears inside of building the business. So what were your fears and how you dealt with them inside of network marketing?
So I always said I was, again, self-talk. I always said that I couldn't even sell candy to a kid. Like, that was my thing. Like, I'm not a salesperson. Like, a kid won't even want a lollipop from me, even though I say it's my favorite flavor. It might not be his favorite flavor, but I wouldn't know how to talk his talk, because that's just not me. I'm not a salesperson. Well, that was my self-talk. So then I switched gears a little bit. I said, okay, Shauna, let's take on this and challenge yourself. You say you're not this, but what if you can become this? And so I started to do what I do with stunts when I want to attract a job or jobs. And I said, okay, Shauna, here's the deal. We're not going to talk negatively about yourself and how you can't do it. We're just going to leave that up to the universe or whatever you want to say, but challenging myself. And so I said, set my intentions, and I said, I'm going to talk to one person today that happens to be interested and see how it goes. And you kind of work through the right dialogue. And of course, I read some books and on how to network market. And I thought, okay, this is really interesting. It's using a different part of my brain. But essentially it's all the same. And then I realized when I set my intention and I had words of affirmation, it made me feel better. And I started attracting those people that had those same thoughts as well. I actually just got off the phone with someone just before you and I talked, and she said, I have this going on. I hear this is amazing. And I didn't even have to reach out to her. She reached out to me. And that's how I start to see it going. As long as your self-talk, your intentions, your affirmation, you are the example. People want to follow you when you are somebody they want to be, or there's an aspect of you that they want to enhance just by being authentically you in alignment with what you're selling. And with that, it just the momentum started rolling and people started coming to me. And so it made it a little easier. Now, I didn't get to the point where I wanted to yet because I'm still new. So having those conversations with people and it taking it a turn that I didn't think was possible, but I didn't let fear beat me. I'm taking that fear to propel me forward and using that as my energy until I get more confidence. But I mean, it starts with knowing you're capable. Everyone is capable of anything. So just
I
navigating
love
and
that.
finding that.
I love that because, and like the most powerful women in network marketing, this is event and the purpose of the event, the reason why I created it is, first of all, to showcase women inside of our profession. But on the other side, give women the confidence that they're looking for, belief in themselves, belief in the profession, because, once you build a belief in yourself, first of all, right, and realize that you are capable of so much more, you're deserving the success, you have full permission to be bold, to be loud, to be who you are, or if you are not bold and loud, just be who you are, be the best version of yourself. And doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your skin color, none of those things matter. You can be successful in this profession. So through this event, we always show different strategies and ideas and concepts and skills necessary to and like tactical stuff, but also most importantly, the mindset that it takes to, overcome those fears and overcome those self-talks and overcome those things that are happening in our brain that are limiting us from living the fulfilling and fun and prosperous life. So, I'm super excited because this event is coming up. I mean, it's like I'm excited on one side and I'm afraid on the other side. It's like I have that a little anxiety going on because like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. It's happening like very, very, very soon now. So I don't even want to say how many days because it just gives me, stress. But like you said, it's really important to realize that you are capable, that you're deserving, and you can achieve anything you want in life. So go ahead.
I want to add one more thing that I think is so important and so key. Confidence is sexy, and confidence is what people are attracted to. And that's going to be the difference between, is someone really believing in their product? Oh, that person fully believes in your product. Okay, well, I'm going to go with this person because she's confident about this. And people can tell, people can really see, even if you're just posting a picture, people can see if you're confident or not. So,
and I always add to it's like, financially independent and confident woman is the new sexy. Yes. So we just need to add the financial independence piece because that's what network marketing can do. This is the profession that allows you to be who you are, build the business around your family schedule, because I know your mom and being a stunt woman, sometimes they don't take it into the consideration. I was like, oh, do you have a sitter? Or can you do it? Can you not do it?
Exactly.
It's just like, this is your time. You need to be on set and you better show up. Otherwise you don't have a job. Inside of network marketing, you have a total freedom of building the business around your family, building your business around raising your son, building your business around other things. And it does not take, first of all, it doesn't take a big financial investment. You don't have to jump off the buildings. You don't have to walk into the fire. You don't have to do any of those things. And you can still make way more money than you would be making as a stunt woman. So I think that's...
Possibilities are endless. There is no cap on how much you can make. As a stunt woman, there is a cap. You can only work so many days a year, but at least with this, it's lucrative and you make it happen. I'm injured right now, so I can't work for a little bit, and I can focus on on my side business, and that's what's so magical about that.
Well, you know what? I know that the movie industry Eventually we'll lose such an amazing stunt woman because she's becoming a full network marketing professional. And pretty soon she's gonna say, bye-bye, guys. I am now a badass and most powerful woman in network marketing, and I'm living my dream, and I don't need to kind of like jump off the cliff anymore in order to provide for my family, for my son, and for my future. So I cannot wait for that moment to happen, because I know that they will lose big time. Not that I wish on that, but I know that network marketing profession gains such an amazing woman and leader and mom into our profession, into our family, because I know you're going to do great things. And I know through your work, you're going to impact a lot of women and men inside of this profession. So I'm excited for network marketing.
Thanks.
So with wrapping it all up, what's on your vision board in the next 5 years? What do you see yourself professionally, personally? What are your goals and dreams for the next 5 years?
Well, my own jet would be nice, even though I hate flying too, and I fly a lot. I have a lot, although I know I need to focus it down to one or two things. But I want to eventually, when the world opens, I want to travel and explore the world and show my son the world and what it is, except beyond Georgia, where I am. I eventually do want to get out of stunts. I want to direct and eventually have my own show as a motivational speaker, however that's going to look. So, and then see where my network marketing tribe, where we end up, which that's going to be endless as well. So we'll see. Whatever it is, it's going to be amazing, because I refuse to accept any less.
I love it. I love it. I love your attitude. I love your drive. I love your motivation. I know that whatever career you choose, public speaking, shows, network marketing, I know you're going to be super successful, and you're going to be impacting a lot of lives through that work. So I'm super excited what that future holds for you. And
Thank you.
We'll be cheering you on that journey. So guys and girls, make sure I know that you already registered, and you probably heard me saying that a million times, but you still have a few more days that you can register. Make sure you register as a VIP. Yes, it's just $97. It's not that big of a deal. The event is totally free. If you cannot afford $97, go free. But if there is any chance you can do it. Not for me. $100 not going to change my life. Trust me. I'm saying, you probably heard me saying that again, that Eric and I was spending multiple seven figures on this event to bring the best of the best of this profession, and outside of this profession, all the personal development leaders, Hollywood stars, to present to you and help you change your life. But it's gonna change your attitude, because when people say, or people get something for free, they don't value, or they don't think that it's going to be so important for them to take 3 days off and kind of like from all the distractions and just actually be glued to their computers and learn. Like I said, so I just hope that you take it really seriously. You show up, free or not free. Just show up, play full out, get that VIP ticket, because we're going to be doing some Q&A with the powerful speakers. You're going to have a great experience. But like I said, most importantly, you will show up with a different attitude, because now you have a little bit of a skin in the game. Now you invested something into it, and you will hopefully take your future as serious as Eric and I do. So looking forward to see all of you guys. And Shauna, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And
thank you.
I'm looking forward to celebrate you on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.